Hi, and I wish you a very good evening, guys. Welcome to the price action analysis video of the 25th of April 2022. Let's start analyzing Nifty first. So let's begin with the first candle as we always do. It is a very important point to note the first candle. Okay, as an intraday trader, it is very important for you to note the first candle to see what the first candle has done. How does the day open is a question you should ask yourself. So how did it open today? It opened with a red candle. Okay, this first red candle was a strong candle, and the reason it was strong was because it was formed exactly at the virgin CPR. The virgin CPR was coming from the 20th of April. Alright, so that was just what 3 sessions ago. So just 3 sessions ago that virgin CPR was there, and virgin CPR is a CPR where the day on which the price has not touched the CPR, for those of you who don't know that. Alright, and I have made many videos on this, so you can go back and check all those videos in the educational section. Okay, going forward now, with the first candle forming exactly at the virgin CPR, what does it suggest? It suggests that the price is getting rejection at this point. Okay, so everywhere here it is getting rejection, and then what happened here was it took a support exactly at the S3, and also we had marked this level here, this blue line, the level of 16978.35 was the level that we had marked as a support. Okay, that support was a historical support coming from the 20th of April. So why had we marked that? Because 20th of April you can see that price had bounced from that level and had not returned to that level yet, and that is exactly the day when it had left a virgin CPR. So obviously you know that that area is a very strong demand zone. So price, whenever it came to that area again, was going to find it very difficult to break that zone. But you can see that the first candle itself had such power that it broke it immediately, and after that was broken, it left a big wick on the bottom. Now that big wick suggests that there are buyers below it, right? So if you're doing live trading, what do you think here? You know that the wicks here suggest that there are buyers. So all these wicks right at the support level, the previously marked support level, although it is broken now, but very close to that level, and on the S3 pivot suggests that there are strong buyers in that area. Now what do you know? Immediately at this point, you know that the price is stuck between these two regions here. Okay, sellers coming from the top, applying pressure from the top, and buyers giving a lot of buying strength from below. Why a lot? You can see the size of these wicks here. The size of the wicks suggests that there are a lot of strong buyers sitting below that area. So you can see the entire area here. You can see how many wicks are there on those candles. And so that is how you read price action in the live market. I made a video just yesterday on what price action trading is. This is exactly what price action trading is. You go by what the price action is telling you, what the candles are telling you. And then you can see that after the first candle itself, price immediately bounced from there, and then it went into a sideways mode here. So you can see how it has gone sideways from here, and then it was stuck right between that level and the virgin CPR for a long time. So it traded for a long time sideways between the level of S3, and above it had the S2 resistance as well as the virgin CPR. Was there a trading opportunity here? So you could see that this level was broken here, isn't it? This level here was broken by the very first candle. So was there an opportunity to go short? The opportunity to go short was not there because of this wick here right at S3. And even though the body of this candle is very strong, the first candle, it still has a long wick on the bottom. What does it suggest? It suggests that the price is being rejected, right? So it's being pushed up by the buyers. So buyers are not accepting the lower prices that they want to, rather they are accepting the price wherever it is. The sellers are not being allowed to push the price any lower, so buyers are buying at that level. So the price is being accepted at whatever level it is. Okay, so then price is pushed up in the very next few candles, and then you can see how here you can see how a small doji candle is formed, but then you can see there that doji doesn't mean anything. Why? Because it is below this wick. So where is the initial important wick? This is the initial important wick, right? Because it is the opening candle high. but then you can see now that this wick has crossed above it, right? And so that is why that wick becomes important. Okay, so first, second, third and fourth candle, that is the wick that is important, and after that the fifth candle makes a doji, but that is under the fourth candle's high, and that is why that fifth candle is not important anymore. So you should not read into anything here. Price is not really giving you any signal here. Okay, then here price, actually the high was important, that was important was here now, and you can see that this particular candle, which was the 10:10 AM candle, broke the high of that candle. You can see that this candle has broken the high, and but then you can also see that that candle has a long wick on the top. See the wick, and that wick is at the S2 pivot. So how S2 pivot is providing support there? Strong support, right? Strong resistance, right? So S2 pivot is providing strong resistance there, and the very follow-up candle is also a doji candle, and then the very next candle to it is a strong red candle. Now is this the opportunity to short? See, once the high here is broken, right, a lot of people jump into that trade thinking that the high is broken, and so the price will start going up now. So the sentiment is that strong green candles are here and price will start going up, and a lot of people might go long on that candle, and immediately this particular candle breaks right through that support. Which is the support? It is this particular line here, which is made by this particular candle here. Okay, that line becomes support once it is broken as a resistance, and so this is a big candle here. Why? Because it took out many stop losses in that 1 5-minute session itself, and then you can see how price was pushed back, but then this same level started acting as a support again. See how well that level has acted as a support right here. You can see how multiple times it has acted as support, and finally it was broken at this point, and you can see that it was a 12:10 PM candle. Now that level was broken initially here also, okay, but then there were a lot of wicks in all those candles, and this was the first candle which was a strong candle that broke out of that level, and then you can see how it had follow-up candles to it. This is a red candle, this second is a red candle here, and then you can see that this is also a strong red candle, but then price was getting support at the bottom itself also. And so this kind of a day really is, it just goes between the sellers and the buyers. It is such that the buyers and sellers both have a lot of strength, and price just keeps going sideways without really giving any opportunity to enter. Okay, if this first candle had been a strong candle and it hadn't been taking support at the S3, then you might have been able to take a short position in the first candle, provided you had good risk to reward. But then again, as I always say, if this was a candle which was this big like that, and then you knew that you had some strong supports coming. Now this is the monthly pivot here, all right, and then you also have pivots below it, so you know that this is not a good opportunity to really enter. So keeping your SL here wouldn't have been a good idea, right? This is a very big SL to short. So looking at the monthly pivot that is coming below it, so that is not the way to trade at all. And again, when the price went back to the high of that candle, now the high would act as a strong resistance. And why that high would act as a strong resistance was because there was the central pivot of the Virgin CPR also at that exact area, and also the S2 pivot resistance was at the same area. So it was a confluence of resistances, okay. But you can see here how this candle has broken right through that resistance. Yes, it has taken resistance at S2 pivot, but you cannot be too sure that the S2 pivot will not be broken at that point. Now here a lot of traders might have gone short, and then the positions were defended in this entire area here, all right, and so price reversed from here, spent a long time going sideways, and finally it broke down from here. So a good opportunity would have been had you seen some sort of a reversal candlestick formation pattern right at the resistance here before the resistance was broken like this. Okay, so but once the resistance is broken, then you really don't have any confidence to go short on that position, although it was a certainty that the Virgin CPR would act as a very strong resistance. So one good entry point today would have been when this candle here was printed. After that, you could have kept your SL somewhere here on the top of this high, and then your entry point would have been somewhere here, and your profit target would have been somewhere here on the S3 pivot from where the price had previously reversed. But then it was not a very clear-cut price action during the live market either. But yes, one thing was for sure, that the price was not going to rally from that, was not going to go ahead above that S2 pivot. It was evident from the price action. So nothing else to discuss other than this particular price action in the rest of the day. Another good entry point would have been had this in a long, this first red candle had not had such a long wick. So why? Because if it did not have such a long wick on the bottom, and if you would have seen that there was a particular green candle like this which had reversed from this point with a strong wick like this, then a strong entry point might have been this pin bar here. Why would that have been a strong entry point? Because you know that the buyers have pushed the price right from that level up to here, right? And then when the price reverses back to that area, that is going to now be the previous swing low. So you can trade based on swing high and swing low. And then in that case, had you gone long here, then this particular line here would have been that was the previous swing high, would have been your profit booking area. So that is what you could have done, and that is how you could have traded. But it was not really a very easy price action today. It was not really very indicative of taking either positions today, long or short. Such days are very choppy days, and usually the price will stay between the Virgin CPR and some pivots or some supports below it. Or if the price is trading above the Virgin CPR, then maybe the current day's CPR and the Virgin CPR, or some other resistance and the Virgin CPR. So price just keeps going sideways on such days between the two levels. We will see what levels we can mark for the upcoming days. We don't have this Virgin CPR anymore here. We have a Virgin CPR coming from the 21st of April 2022. We will delete this level now, 16978. We don't need it anymore. Okay, we will mark today's previous day high, that is today's high, that is the previous day high for tomorrow, as a supply zone. Price has gone down from the previous day high, that is today's high, to today's low, about 165 points. So we'll mark that as a supply zone. And let's check on the 15-minute time frame. What do we see? Yeah, a very choppy day on the 15-minute time frame as well. You can see that some strong green candles have been formed from the day low. So you can mark the day low as a strong support, although it might not be a demand zone, but you can just mark it as a strong support area. You can see how price has reversed after hitting that support area, and it's not just there, but you can see how price has reacted on the larger time frame here. You can see how price has reacted in this entire area, right? So it is being provided support in that entire zone, but let us not mark a zone there, since it was a very sideways day, very choppy day. It is always seen that the buyers keep entering the market and the sellers keep entering the market. So newer and newer buyers and sellers keep entering the market from top and below, top and bottom, that creates this sort of a price action. So the choppiness is led to by that. And so it's important to not read into the levels too much and not mark too many levels at such times. And today's CPR is also going to be a Virgin CPR, since the day was a gap down open, right? And we also have a gap here. So I'll mark this gap, and I'll post these charts. I'll publish them on TradingView, and I'll publish them on Twitter, so you can take down those charts from here. Let's go and take a look at Bank Nifty now. Alright, this is Bank Nifty for you for today. And Bank Nifty opened with a red candle with a very strong wick on the bottom. You can see this red candle here, and such a large wick taking support at the S2. Now you can see that S2 is the price is taking a lot of strong support at S2 because the follow-up candle has broken right through S1, and this is a very good sign that the S2 is holding very nicely as support. Okay, so let's see what the low of this candle was. The low is around 35,511, so let's say it's around 35,500. So we can say that 35,500 in Bank Nifty is providing good support to price right now given today's price action. And although it was a gap down open in Bank Nifty also, we can see that Bank Nifty has recovered that gap entirely today. It has filled at the gap entirely and it has gone and hit the CPR. Usually you will see that whenever the price tends to penetrate the previous day's range from below, you can see that there are large candles or a large candle like this, a 10:05 AM candle, because of the short covering that happens in that area. Because whenever you see that the price has gapped down open, you know that a lot of short sellers are active from the previous day, and those short sellers are covering their positions in panic, and so you can see such a big green candles the very next day whenever price opens like this outside the previous day's range, and current day starts to close in into the previous day's range. And this is the the CPR for today, and you can see how price has not been able to penetrate the CPR for today. So this is what happens whenever the CPR is very close to the previous day low. So a very tight range between the CPR and the previous day low range, and so such a big candle here happens to go and hit the CPR right away, and then you can see how it is taking a resistance right at the central pivot of the Virgin CPR, and that is exactly where it went and closed also. So I usually use the CPR to trade on. All my trades are based on the CPR, where the first candle's opening should be at the CPR, where I know that there is a strong swing low or a swing high support at the CPR, and CPR is the same place where I know that I can keep my SL very safe. So I use the CPR as a support in case I want to go long, and I use it as a resistance in case I want to go short. And then even patterns like double top and double bottom patterns can be traded very successfully based on CPR, but they have to be formed at the CPR, meaning which price opening somewhere like this, which is way away from the CPR, and then the CPR will act as a magnet whenever the price is rejected from the S2 or the S1 pivot, are price action patterns which I do not trade on. Okay, I do not trade towards the CPR. I always trade when the price is rejected from the CPR, either to the up or the upside or the bottom side, the downside, doesn't matter where. So this was the price action analysis of Bank Nifty. Nothing really to analyze in this sort of price action, because you can see how price has been going sideways in Bank Nifty as well. So the only area which needs to be explained is this, and as I just said, that big candle is because a lot of stop losses were triggered. Swing traders who got their positions trapped when the price closed into the previous day's range, and so those positions had to be covered by all those short sellers from 22nd April price action. Yesterday we did not have a trading session. That is the reason why that big candle is there. But then again, you can see that price was arrested at the CPR right on top. So is this a good place to go long after you see that the price has exploded through the previous day's range, low range, right into the range? Then no, that is not a place to go long, because you have the CPR right on top of it, and you can see how beautifully CPR has acted to reject price from there. So it has acted as a very strong resistance. All right, and you can see how that base of that strong green candle has also acted as a strong support. It has not really allowed price to break through it. You can see how price tried to break that support here as well as here, but was not successful a couple of times. Okay, so based on this sort of price action, let us see what levels we have coming forward. Okay, we had the 35,501 level marked. That's almost the 35,500 level marked as a support initially, and that is exactly where the price has taken support today. We'll just adjust it as per today's price action, but understand that the 35,500 is a strong support for price. We will mark the Virgin CPR coming from the 22nd of April we'll just extend it for the coming sessions, but it is not a very wide virgin CPR, so be careful whenever price retraces to that virgin CPR again. We will see what has happened on the larger time frame here. Okay, so a very strong green candle has been formed on the 15-minute time frame. So the 5-minute time frame was showing us a red candle, but you can see how strong that green candle is. It's a strong bullish pin bar, and that is why I'm saying that the 35,500 is a good solid support for Bank Nifty at the present moment. We will mark one area here. We do not see that to be a very strong supply zone, but we will mark the previous day high as a strong resistance and the previous day low as a strong support. So price has traded within those areas today. You can also, if you want, mark a zone like this here, like this. So be careful whenever price comes to that zone in the upcoming sessions. But I am not entirely sure that that zone is really useful. So it is up to you whether to create that zone or not, or whether to retain that zone or not. Alright guys, so I will post these levels on Twitter, so you can take down those levels from there. Do please follow me on Twitter also. And if you've liked this video, do hit the like button, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified each time I post a new video. Thank you guys for your support and for your patience. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.